Now, most of you know that I'm someone who's against debt, all kinds of debt. I don't care what kind of debt it is, what form it takes, but debt is debt. Also, one thing that I would want to point out is the fact that when something is normalized, when something is a norm, that doesn't mean that thing is the right thing to do. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean that that's the right thing to do. Debt is debt. The last time I checked, as a child of God, for those that believe in the Bible, you will notice that any kind of debt, I don't care what form it takes, any kind of debt is a form of slavery. That's what the Bible says. It's there in the Bible. It says, whoever borrows is a slave to the lender. And you are not free until you meet your obligation of clearing that debt. Now, lenders come in different forms. It can be a bank, it can be a loaning institution, it can be an individual. But whatsoever it is, if you borrow anything from anybody, you are a slave to that person until you redeem yourself. You'll notice that 3/4 of the population are living on consumer debt. And here it's a norm. Worse for those that have been born in such a system where they think this is the normal lifestyle. You get born in a system where everybody is living on loans. They maintain a lifestyle on loans. The cars they drive, the schools they go to, they've got student loans, just life in general, including mortgages. Probably that could be an exception. A mortgage could be an exception. But also, when it comes to mortgages, you don't just get into a mortgage without proper understanding of what you're putting yourself into. One thing that you have to realize is that the mortgage that you are getting, that house is not your house. It belongs to the bank or the lender until you clear it. So you are pretty much paying rent until you default. So the only way out of that is either you clear it or you default or surrender it. At the end of the day, you are the slave to whoever has lent you that money, and you remain in that bondage until you redeem yourself. One of the ways that you can save yourself from any kinds of debt is by limiting your appetite. You don't just do things just because it's a norm, like I said. Just because something is done by everybody doesn't mean it has to be done by you. It doesn't mean that it will work for you as well. You have to look at yourself, look at where you are at, and then, gauge yourself. See if it's something that works for you or if it's not something that can work for you. What is your relationship with money, for example? Are you financially educated? Having a lot of money or generating a lot of revenue doesn't mean that you are good with money at all. There are many people that make a lot of money and yet they don't know how to manage that money. There are also other people that make very little money and are able to do and accomplish a lot of things. But at the end of the day, it is better to work with your own hands. It's there in the Bible. These are open, universal principles that when applied, anybody can benefit from them. So work with your own hands so that you may gain the respect of others. Living out of debt is something that gives you the freedom to do anything that you want to do. A phone call, a simple phone call, you tend to hate it. Just a ringtone, you hate it just because you think that any phone call that comes in, it's somebody asking for their money. Now imagine a life where you just live freely. Work becomes a choice because you want to survive and you want to maintain life. The Bible says, I have come that you may have life and that you may have it in abundance. The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich and it comes with zero sorrow. That's what the Bible says. So be blessed. May you be a blessing to others, not because of debt. May you live a realistic life, a life of freedom from debt. By all means, avoid debt. God bless you.